either down start combos or some very interesting, T-spin continuations there. Probably wasn't too optimized against circulation, and there were some places where they could have, stepped on the gas a little bit further and just kept the same thing they were doing, just applying that pressure and get a bit more aggressive, towards the end of towards the circulations board here when they were almost about to pop out. So that sort of decision making, might be something key that they want to look forward to against QMK. But again, yeah, what are some of your thoughts about that as far as like what Rivi's gonna have to watch out for against a player like QMK?
Well, the thing about QMK is it's going to be very difficult to have any real strategy against them. QMK is like one of the few players like that doesn't typically crumble in situations that normal players would. So I mean, you have a number of different strategies that you could employ, and they're all very basic. You basically have to play on points and get him in a compromised position. So I'm expecting a lot of downstack combos from both of these players. It's going to be up to Riviclia to kind of outpressure what QMK is able to survive, because there is a limit to it.
Yeah.
One of QMK's downsides is he can get really comfortable with just downstacking and surviving. I think he does play that very reactionary based kind of style, reacts to what his opponent is doing, reacts to what his board is telling him to veer more towards. Like he kind of just like flows into the match rather than tries to control it or place any kind of, or invoke like his will into it, basically. Like he doesn't really do any of that. So this is going to be Riviclia's game to try to control. I think Riviclia's pacing is going to serve him well here. It's just the holes that I kind of mentioned in Riviclia's play earlier is probably going to be more pronounced against someone as polished as QMK. So he's really got to like watch where he's putting his pieces, what he's building for, because QMK is just gonna like pounce on top of that otherwise.
Yeah, and we kind of see that right there. Just so I mean, from that, I mean, it wasn't really too much of in this first match here for QMK versus Rivi. Just not so much of Rivi having unoptimized setups in this sense. Now, also coupled in that with some of the tendencies for Rivi's misdrops, which is obviously not a thing to have against a player like Cloak or QMK. Just, QMK might be able to capitalize a little bit better on the positions where you see in some of the matches that Rivi had first in that first series, first circulation, there was a bit of hesitation against some of the setups that they were going for. So QMK also is able to hit the trigger just a little bit better, just to not think about it so much as far as that goes, just trying to simply overwhelm in some points. So, QMK having a better understanding. Oh, but there's a missed. Well, okay, that wasn't really too bad. It's just one line, but still a huge spike from Rivi, though. I mean, and that being said, too, we can still have those moments that we see right now where they can pressure off a little bit. There is a slight advantage of speed coming from Rivi. So as long as Rivi can avoid some of those crucial misdrops as well and keep this pressure going versus QMK, again, like you just said, not really giving him time to react as much. That's going to be a key thing here. Once
Man, QMK's survival, he's dead here, but still, like there was like 4 or 5 different situations where he should have been dead already by Riviclia there. But yeah, I think like this exact game is probably going to be the entire mold of the match that we're about to see. Riviclia going to be using a little bit more speed to try to ramp up QMK, force some errors, and then like get him at the top of the field. Like one thing is like he gets way too complacent at the top, I think, with QMK. And when you have like more limited space to work with, that's usually like the moment a lot more players start to show holes in their play, or when it becomes more pronounced.
Yeah, and that's going to be interesting to kind of see how that plays out throughout this series. But again, to something I also want to touch upon too, with that slight speed advantage coming in from Rivi, just if you're going to be able to continue these top outs against QMK, when you put up these huge T-spin combos, these huge setups, again, being able to follow up with some continuations, some whether you're clearing off with T-spin singles or doubles, and just keeping that constant aggression from the big setups there. So not only being complacent with one big thing there, but just still allowing yourself to pressure. So once they are pressured from the top of their board, just keep on that same continuation of damage that you see right now. So I think Rivi's just setting up for that a little bit more. We see kind of Rivi understanding that a little bit. I think that's something that's being coupled into Rivi's gameplay. For right now, for Cloak, he's just in a battle of trying to downstack right now, trying to react to it. But now Rivi forcing QMK to just keep applying downstacks. We don't see QMK trying to be too aggressive or set up any aggressive plays, but Rivi's just keeping the foot pressed down, on the on this match right now. So, but yeah, we still see QMK being able to recover pretty well here. So again, it's just you have to be consistent with that and have to be able to
oh my god, that down stack by QMK, dude. Like, he was just waiting for moments like that the entire time. Like, I think he's allowing Riviclia to kind of take the lead here, and then just like surviving the situation barely makes it seem like, like, I don't know if you guys have ever read Sun Tzu's Art of War, but this seems very paramount to their ideas. Basically, like, you fool your opponent into believing that you're about to die, and really, like, you got your hand right on the trigger ready to go at all times. That's kind of essentially like what QMK is doing here, I think. Like, he's not amping up any of the pressure. He doesn't really need to. He is going for it a little more in this one, though.
Yeah, so I think too, we saw how Rivi adjusted coming to this matchup versus QMK, but now it's interesting to see that too, like how QMK, even within the series, is able to adjust and now find a playstyle that kind of works better now that they have a better feel of how Rivi is going to play. They're just being able to not really force to not really pressure too much, just keep yourself set up for that counter play position, for those huge downstack positions. Right now we see just Cloak just waiting for these wells to open up here. We see huge opportunities going left and right, so Rivi's just gonna have to try a little bit harder to have that follow up with damage. And for Rivi, it's gonna be kind of hard to do that now, since QMK is finding a bit more of that rhythm. Is
nice finds. Okay, yeah, like that was sort of a center four wide build by QMK. Kind of took some fumbling around to try to get it, but yeah, like that recent incorporation of those strategies in his play have been doing QMK wonders.
Yeah, so I mean, at this point here, I mean, now Rivi's gonna have to play the same game, have to find a way to adjust to that, and I think with this sort of play style that QMK is employing right now, it's going to be very difficult. Rivi's going to just have to, at this point, try to find those opportunities a bit better, try to optimize the playing field a bit better, not being as aggressive versus QMK. And we see a QMK being able to immediately punish at every opportunity they get. So this is going to be
yeah, this I think is going to be really tough for Riviclia. He's already let QMK get into a certain rhythm. He's like, I think QMK is very comfortable right now, and that's definitely not what you want from any of your opponent, but least of all someone like QMK. Like, if QMK is comfortable, that means like he has all the time he needs to feel safe about the decisions that he's making, because he is a very pragmatic kind of player. You don't want this kind of player feeling comfortable with his situations or his decisions. You want him feeling pressured at all times. That way, like, you're trying to distort your opponent's play style, not accommodate it. With QMK and the way he's playing right here, like, this is completely within his comfort zone. Riviclia, like, he's trying to amp up the pace a little bit, trying to send as many back-to-backs as possible to try to etch some kind of advantage out on QMK, but it's just not working right now. He's not sending enough pressure. There's too many dips in it Okay, yeah, this is gonna be where he gets, yeah, a little over ambitious there by Riviclia, but I get it. Like he's kind of outmatched in terms of what he needs to do timing wise. I think he's just kind of rushing into battle with no thought.
So, sorry, I was a little cough there, but yeah, right now it's not really going through over here. It's like Rivy's still gonna have to, still find that way to adjust, still find that way to get just a bit of strategy at this point to try to lead the series. Now, Cloak already 7-3, just about 3 more matches for Cloak to close out the series right now. So at this point, it is, this sort of strategy from Cloak right now is really snowballed, into something that Rivy's not able to handle too well, and if Rivy is still not able to adjust, it's going to be very hard to come back from this. Not only that, just being down 7-3 in the series is going to be a very difficult thing to achieve right now. So again, Cloak too comfortable in the position that he's in right now, as you kept mentioning there, and Rivy also, again, coming back to that same thing with a few times Rivy can misdrop at some points. It's going to be
nice. Okay, that was a really nice downstack combo by Riviclia. Okay, getting a little over ambitious here, but I think it's completely permissible in this context, just because QMK is almost done. Finally able to get the kill there, but yeah, like this exact situation is what Riviclia needs to get himself situated as his position at all times. And if not all times, he should ideally be building the situation any moment that he gets. Like if the result, oh no, yeah, oh god,
he's right there now.
That's hard to watch, but yeah, like those are like exactly what you want to be mindful of. Like that's the entirety of QMK's strategy. Just like those big spikes to send you, yeah, you don't want that, and you also don't want to get too overambitious and too frantic with your play, because then this happens where he catches you at a continuation, he catches you with your pants down, you're rushed into battle in your underpants, you're not ready at all, and he's got like bazookas and all his entire arsenals with him, however he got it there, and you have nothing to display for getting on the battlefield. Like this is essentially what it is right now. Riviclia needs to slow down here. This build leads into nothing.
Oh man, but yeah, that I mean, Rivy did have a bit of had a good amount of pressure on Cloak there at the and well, not really amount of pressure. Cloak wasn't able to find that. Well, he had that piece, well, wasn't able to tuck it in there to turn it down stack. So, I mean, still, this is match point right now. So, again, from that set that Rivy run late in the series, just being able to not only keep applying this pressure, but finding better ways to keep yourself at that optimal playing field that we just saw from Rivy a few matches ago. But with these misdrops, again, it's not going to be very optimized. I mean, just being near the top of the board right now against Cloak's damage, that's going to be a GG now, 10-5. What a series! And that means now that, what is this? So losers quarters moving into losers semis now, right? Is that what's going on here? Yeah, losers semis. All right. So.
Yep,
yeah,
and then after this is losers finals for whoever wins between Firestorm versus Dow, I think. And yeah, then whoever wins that gets to face either Firestorm or Dow in the grand finals.
Yeah, so this